When it comes to dating and relationships, understanding what actually drives someone away is just as important as understanding what keeps her close. It's often the belief of individuals that chemistry and attraction will be able to pull a connection through, but really, it is only part of the equation. What makes her run away is not always very dramatic. More often than not, it's a series of small moments, missed opportunities, or unmet expectations. These build up over time until she feels disconnected and steps back. But here's the good news. In case you reflect and make changes, then you can fix things before it's too late. Now let's get real for a second. Why does someone pull away? Reasons vary, but often boil down to them not feeling seen, heard, or valued. Perhaps you are too self-focused in conversations. Or maybe you have crossed lines without even noticing. It may be something as simple as not appreciating minor things she does. Whatever the reason, the result will always be the same. She will start questioning if the relationship is worth her time and energy. That doesn't mean, though, it's the end. You can still save the bond if you do something thoughtful. One of the big culprits, for example, is emotional disconnection. Emotional disconnection is when two people are not on the same wavelength emotionally. If she shares something vulnerable and you respond with indifference, or worse, dismiss her feelings altogether, then you are telling her that her emotions don't matter to you. Over time, this erodes trust and intimacy. Often, trust issues originate from such interactions. If she doesn't feel it is safe to open up with you, she will eventually stop trying. This will entail learning to validate her emotions and emphatically understand her feelings. Communication breakdown describes situations when misunderstandings or lack of clarity create tension. Emotional validation actually means to understand and acknowledge your partner's feelings, which in turn creates closeness. Boundary violations occur when personal limits have been ignored or disrespected. All these lead to the understanding of a central idea why one would leave and how to prevent it. What specific behaviors especially make her run? One major red flag is when emotional validation is neglected. For example, she tells you about a bad day at work and wants some support, but you immediately crack a joke or change the subject. To her, this feels dismissive and invalidating. Another warning sign is poor communication. If you avoid difficult conversations or shut down during disagreements, it creates frustration and resentment. These kinds of communication breakdowns leave her feeling unheard and unsupported. The fix? Actually listen and give a compassionate response in the first place. Ask, how can I support you? Or tell me more about how you're feeling. Little things like that go a long way. It could also be highlighted that respect towards boundaries is an insight. Every relationship needs its boundaries. They define what each person needs to feel safe and respected. If you keep violating her boundaries, whether by pushing her to go at a pace that's faster than she'd like, or by crowding into her space, it's a sign that you're not considering her feelings. Over time, this pushes her away because she no longer feels appreciated or safe. The solution is pretty simple. Ask her about what her boundaries are and respect them without question. Let her know her comfort is important to you. One such scenario where this often comes up is in jealousy or possessiveness. For example, every time she speaks with another guy, you jump into suspicion or anger. It's normal to feel jealous sometimes, but when those feelings govern how you act, it becomes toxic. She may start feeling like she is being smothered or controlled and may ask herself if the relationship is worth the stress. But remember, jealousy itself isn't the problem, it's how you deal with it. To fix this, practice self-awareness and communicate openly. Instead of accusing her, say something like, I felt insecure when I saw you talking to him. Can we talk about it? This is an invitation, not an accusation, and much less likely to be met with defensiveness. Speaking of emotional handling, let's now talk about self-awareness. Self-awareness plays a vital role in dating and relationships. Before you point your fingers at her for running away, step back and observe your behavior. Are you always critical or defensive? Do you have a hard time listening actively without interrupting? Being honest with yourself gives you the ability to see your mistakes. Additionally, it provides a good basis for the future of the relationship. Once you have reflected on your thoughts, share them with her. This would sound something like, I realize I haven't been the best listener, and I want to change that. One piece of advice which is very applicable to an improved communication style is to practice active listening. Active listening means giving your full attention, asking for clarification, and reflecting back to confirm understanding. It shows you value her perspective and care about her thoughts and feelings. Over time, this practice strengthens your bond and lessens misunderstandings. Remember that communication is not just about talking. It is also about genuinely listening to each other. For the purpose of mending the breakdown in communication, set up regular check-ins where both are able to say how they are feeling without being judged. You may wonder at this stage how connection can be rebuilt if it has already been strained. This rebuilding of connection takes time, patience, and consistent effort from both sides. Start by acknowledging the issues and discussing what led to the emotional disconnect. Was it a single incident or part of a larger pattern? From there, work together to establish new norms around honesty and accountability. Transparency is key. Share your thoughts and feelings openly and encourage her to do the same. Remember, rebuilding trust doesn't mean forgetting what happened. It means choosing to move forward despite it. To sum it up, let's outline the basic points. Every good relationship has grown on trust, and trust grows on honesty. Emotional disconnection or communication breakdown and crossing lines may eventually push her away if left unchecked. Pay attention to warning signs, foster open communication, and make emotional validation paramount. Understand how relationships come out of respect and self-awareness. Equipped with such knowledge, you are better armed to meet these challenges and make your relationships much stronger and worth living. Takeaways will include emotional validation, understanding relationship compatibility, and addressing trust issues straight away. A good level of communication and respect for boundaries go a long way in preventing her from running away. You'll be able to recognize these patterns early and act to protect yourself and her emotionally. And in the end, remember that everyone is worthy of love and respect. No one deserves to be dismissed or disrespected. What matters most is how you respond when you realize something isn't right. Approach the situation with empathy, curiosity, and a willingness to grow together or apart if necessary. That's the secret to lasting happiness. By being able to focus your energy on what is broken, having the care to repair it will surely turn things around and create that partnership based on mutual respect and understanding.